Hello, happy Tuesday, happy summer. I am Adam Tilted, your dizzy dude, and this is Orbit at a Tilt, the space science show where I try to make it fun, interesting, and easy to understand. Today we're going to be talking about the summer solstice. Yay for summer! But first I want to give you some Skywatch alerts because there are some interesting things happening this week. First, on Wednesday is the first quarter moon. So see if you can picture in your mind what that will look like and predict. And then see if you're right on Wednesday. First quarter moon. Thursday is the solstice, and that's what we're going to talk about in a minute. And then on Saturday, there's going to be a pairing between Jupiter and Mars. Good morning. Hi, Danica. Let me show you this pairing because it's pretty cool. This is on Saturday, as I said. You can't see me. Can you see me now in the corner? Okay, let's make sure that I'm broadcasting. Just a minute. You can hear me though, right? Oh, you see me. Okay, good. All right, excellent. Okay, as I was saying, on Saturday there's going to be a nice pairing between the moon and Jupiter. So this is just after sunset on Saturday, and the moon and Jupiter will be high in the sky, and incredibly easy to spot. And then don't forget, we've also got Venus over on in the west following the sun after sunset. It's still up pretty late, so enjoy that view. This will be a nice pairing. Not the best time to look at either one with a telescope, although why not? I mean, if you have clear skies, take a look. But remember that the fuller the moon, the worse the conditions are for viewing anything, even the moon, because the light just washes it out too much. All right, let's talk about solstice. All right, so remember that the Earth has an imaginary axis going down the middle of it. In fact, why am I using hand signals when I actually have a simulation? Good morning, Morgan. How are you? Good to see you. Okay, so if we zoom in, let's zoom in. Wait, hold on. Zoom in on the Earth. Why is this not working? Okay, there we go. All right. The Earth, when it rotates, it's rotating at an angle, right? You see that? See, this terminator line is not straight up and down. It is at an angle. So when we go around the sun, I'm just going to back this up to January. As we orbit the sun, then that tilted part, you can kind of see, it shifts like this. Thank you, Morgan. I miss your face too. And hi, Mom. It is tilted, just like me. The Earth is tilted. So this is actually what causes the seasons in the first place. All right. So let's zoom way into the Earth and take a look at the bright side. And I'm going to move the time ahead just a little bit. Oh, let's go back to. We'll go back to January so we can see the difference. And let's move this to we'll take a look at the Western Hemisphere first. And let's keep the same time of day, and we'll move it forward so you can see. That's not what I'm trying to do. Why is it doing that? No. Sorry. This is what I was trying to do. All right, so you can see as we go forward, this is going way faster than I thought. Sorry about that. As we are going forward, stop. We're now in October of next year. It's been a while since I played with this. See, I got to get more consistent so I don't forget how to use all these cool apps. Just a minute, I'm bringing us back. I'm bringing us back in the Wayback Machine. This is December of 2000 last year. Good morning, Naomi. Thank you for joining. As I'm struggling with my model of the Earth here. All right, so this is in December, and if I start moving us forward in time, you'll see that the part of the Earth where the sun is shining directly, where you have this spot, see it's tilting back and forth. So this is April, May, June. Now at July, we start to tilt back away. This motion causes the seasons, because as we're tilted towards the sun, then that part, the northern hemisphere, gets more direct sunlight, and the southern hemisphere gets less. That's why it's winter in the southern hemisphere. And then the opposite is true. When the tilt is further away from the sun, so if the sun is over here and the tilt is this way, then the southern hemisphere is going to get most of this direct sunlight. And so they have summer, and we have winter. The solstice usually happens around this time of year. It doesn't always happen on exactly the same day, though. And the solstice is the longest day of the year, but this is a little tricky thing that a lot of people don't understand, and I didn't realize for a long time. It's not necessarily the earliest sunrise and the latest sunset, which kind of doesn't make sense, right? But it's because it depends on where you are on the Earth, because the orbit of the Earth is an ellipse. So as we're going around, and that's tilt, some of the people on this edge, they're getting a little peak before it really starts to face. So yeah, it's complicated if you want to know exactly like how long your day is going to be, but you can look it up. Actually, Wikipedia has a pretty nice chart, and it tells you how long the day is in your area. Now, something that really interests me is looking at the poles. So we're at 2025 now, but guess what? It's not really going to change that much. So we'll just take a look back at the solar system. Take a look at the Earth and get it going again. I want to look at the bright side. But I want to go up to the pole area. Because watch, this is April, and this part is getting sunlight. Now we're entering September. It is getting no sunlight at all. None. And so during summer solstice and around this time, people who live in the northern latitudes have nearly a full 24 hours of sunlight. Stay off the pole. Oh my gosh. See, you guys should know, I asked Danica at the last minute if she wanted to come on, but she's doing a great job from the comments. Okay, so that's basically the point of the solstice. That's what solstice is. Now, in some cultures, solstice marks the beginning of summer. That's what in the United States we consider solstice to be the official beginning of summer, and that's happening on the 21st. Some cultures consider it to be the middle of summer, so it's also called midsummer. So that, you know, that Midsummer Night's Dream, that is on the solstice. There I am. All right. I think I covered everything. I wanted to just give a overview of what it means for us to be in solstice. It's all about where we are in our orbit around the sun. And the peanut gallery is kidding. So, Danica, yes, the longest day of summer is Memorial Day if you have a cottage. Morgan, sorry, yeah, I have no control over the comments. Although I don't have to put them all on screen, I guess. But that's part of the fun, right? Yeah, midsummer. You know, I didn't know that either. I thought for everyone it was the beginning of summer. Even though, you know, it actually takes a while. This is not our warmest month, right? Our warmest months tend to be in August. Why? Any ideas? Today we are facing the sun as directly as we are going to. But why does it take all the way to August before we get like super hot? Do you know? Do you know? Any guesses? Okay, so 9-second delay, unless you just jumped right on that. I don't know if you answered or not. But I am going to tell you. The reason why is because it takes a while for the Earth to absorb that direct heat from the sun. An important thing to remember is that the sun does not heat the atmosphere. The sun heats the ground and the water. And the water and the ground radiate the heat up into the atmosphere. Okay? So even though right now we're getting the most head-on energy from the sun, that's all being stored in the water. It's warming up the oceans. That's why we get hurricanes around this time of year. It's warming up the land masses, and then that is warming up the air. And by the time August gets around, it's like hot. And so that around that time we'll have equinox. So that will be in September, and we'll come back for that. And I've seen some of these comments. So I don't know how this works for flat earthers. I imagine that it has something to do with the firmament and the fact that you can't see the curvature of the earth. I don't know. Yeah, nothing works for flat earthers. Yeah. Okay, excellent. Good. I haven't planned next week's show yet. We're coming into July, which is crazy. The last week of June. That's kind of nuts. I have a couple of ideas for next week's show, but if you have something that you've been wondering about, let me know, because so far I have not settled on a plan. Also, please remember that I could really use your help sponsoring the show. I want to do some cool stuff. I really want to hook up with Space Center Houston here at NASA Johnson Space Center. So, but that's going to take some cash, and I need some help with that. So the links are in the description. Give that a thought. Please share this out so that more people can see it. I am really happy with how the show's going, and a lot of that is because of you guys and your feedback. I really appreciate it. I'm excited to take the show to the next level. I feel like I'm providing some good content, and I want to keep it going, and I want to make it better and better and better. And oh, great! Naomi was watching some live feeds earlier. Those are nice. Now, here's a little. Speaking of, well, I won't speak of, but some of the live footage from the way YouTube labels it. Sometimes it was recorded live, but it's being rebroadcast. I bet it'll say in the notes if that's the case. Okay, so don't think that. Some people say, oh, it's live, but I can see it's passing over North America, and it's light and it's dark, so it doesn't match. So, yeah. You need to actually read the captions so you know what the show is about. Because sometimes that live thing, you can't take it off. So, oh, another thing I've been considering, I'm just kind of babbling on at this point, so feel free to go on with your day if you want. But I've been considering streaming this live directly to YouTube, and I'm wondering how many of you would tune in for that. So if that would be of interest to you, instead of going live to Facebook, if you would be just as likely to tune in to YouTube, just pop YouTube in the comments. I just want to kind of get an idea of that. I want to explore my options because, Facebook's always changing things around, and I'm kind of getting tired of it. But anyway, have a great rest of the week. Tune in tomorrow for What's Up Wednesday with me and Danica. It should be an interesting show. I know I have some interesting things to talk about. And don't forget to look up. I'll see you next week.